Right. Good energy, good start. Strong start to the season.
You all felt threatened that I was back.
You're a liar, actress! If anyone's looking for a footballer who can run...
Doesn't matter where you finish in the league, does it?
Well...
Nobody's going to remember where you finished in the league when you get a face like this.
Sarina Wiegman has just got this mindset now within these players that has got them... They just never know when they're beaten. I was a really bad bench player. You didn't feel a part of it. They know their role, they respect Sarina, and they know that they're good enough to come on and do their thing again. Sarina Wiegman has been the best signing for England. I'm excited for London City Lionesses. This team is going to be competing.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a traitor because I've still got my England shirts up behind me here.
You were one of the first women to be appointed in the Premier League as a male academy coach, is that right?
Do you know what? I don't really think about this that much. Being in the men's academy, there was a big focus on individual development, and I think that's definitely coming into the women's game now. Michelle Adjumang is in my under-16 squad and under-17 squad within the England pathway. I was very fortunate to play a very small part in her journey.
As a footballer, you want to play at the highest level possible, and when you're doing that, it's amazing and everything's brilliant, but then you're losing and it's tough. But I think the Championship is more physical. And I also think in the Championship, anyone can beat anyone.
Hello there, how are you? And welcome back. Welcome back to the Kickback. My name's Shebahn Aherne, joined here in the studio by the evil twin sister, footballer Ruesha Littlejohn. # looking for a team. Coming up for you on the show today, we'll reflect on a huge summer for women's football with former Liverpool and England striker Tash Dowie, plus former Lionesses under-17 coach and current assistant coach with Canada's national team, Natalie Henderson, joins us to discuss her coaching career and the future of women's football. Plus, Crystal Palace forward Molly-Mae Sharpe looks ahead to a new season in the WSL 2. Stay tuned for all of that and much, much more coming up on the new season of the Kickback. Rush, Show 1, you're here with us in the studio. That's an achievement.
Why?
Because, Bo, we'll need to count.
Hold on a wee second.
How many sickies did she throw last year?
I have been available for the last literally 4 weeks, and you and Bo decided to put a stop to it. Obviously,
You're a liar, actress!
You all felt threatened that I was back.
Hold on a minute.
The show views would have went up and through the roof, and you thought, let's take a wee break, is what you thought.
What? Well, there's no football on
Does
and
it
there's
matter?
no season.
When
We
I'm
took a
about,
break.
there's always something to talk about when I'm about.
You're full of it, Hen.
But I'm here. I'm glad to be back because I'm skint. So I'm just here for the money right now, actually.
Well, there's no pay.
Right, brilliant.
We've actually
I'll be
cut
on
your
my
wage.
way.
So we'll give you some expenses.
But yeah, good to be back. There's loads to talk about, and I can't believe you've said we've just been doing this for nearly a year now in here. Time flies when you're having fun.
Must be like episode 46. 57?
57?
47. I was going to say that's ages with you.
40. Well,
47. So today is a new season, right?
Well, the new season is starting. Or you mean a new season for the show?
Yes, as well as a new season starting, Cass. That's why we're calling it a new season.
Season 2.
Feels great, doesn't it?
We need to get...
the love that the Kickback has experienced over the summer.
Do you know what? One of these days, not far from now, the Kickback's going to have a wee audience in with us in the studio. It's going to be a live panel.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Great. People chucking eggs at you and stuff.
New idea for season 2.
Anyway, we'll
live
get
studio audience. What if they don't like us though and they just holler abuse?
Nobody really does like
from
us.
like there.
Everyone just joins in to throw abuse. If you look at the comments, everyone like, you talk, you talk, you're rotten, you look like my mum. That's what the last comments.
I don't
let that
mind.
get you.
I don't mind looking like your mum. Your mum's better looking than you. Just saying. She looks well. Mama, I do give
I
that
bet they
to
think
you.
you're my mum. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
did you see where that went?
You look
do you know
like
what I mean?
your mum.
Aye.
Right, go.
Anyway, sorry.
Your grammar's still atrocious after a summer. What's new with you, Cass? Anything to tell the people who do like you about maybe the season ahead?
I am now on my return to football. Return to running? Not return to play. I'd say return to play, but it's not.
Return to
because I've
running?
not got a club. I'm teamless. So.
Sound like you were like
Well, I hadn't been on
feet for a few years.
Yes, it was. I took 6 weeks off to regenerate my Achilles health. Can't remember what the actual technical terms is.
And are you supposed to be smashing the booze when you're
I'd done that
feet?
on my holiday.
Right.
So that was like part of my holiday. I thought surely the red wine, fruits will help the bloodstream and help the heart health. And I must say that the whoop is, honestly, heart rate's dropped lower, which means I'm getting fitter, HRV's coming up higher. So what does you need to get back on your whoop, because my whoop age, I'm like 2.5 years younger than my actual age.
Really?
I am. So that means it's a good place and there's something to really work towards here.
Well, we are starting a new season being more promising on our body image and health, because we probably were fat shaming each other a lot last year and alcohol shaming each other.
Yeah.
Well, we've
I
already
like, do you know
started
what?
that.
If you can't shame your sister, who can you shame?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? But I won't. You can come at me right now because my gut is gutting.
I know.
But it's fine because
We're not starting. But that's the thing.
We're fit, healthy.
So, Rue's birds. But can we say you've got a bird yet, or is this still top secret?
Who's that?
It's like on Instagram, but you're not allowed to talk about it. Honestly, this lesbian. She's
Single.
so confused.
Single.
She's so confused, this lesbian. But anyway, Ruesha's bird has enrolled me to do a 10K in a month. So I'm back running people. So, you know, new season, new me, all that kind of thing. Feels good.
Does it?
Yeah, but I cannot wait for a glass of wine tonight because it's been 5 days.
Well, I thought it was Friday when you were officially allowed to have a glass of wine. Seems like you keep twisting
No,
stuff.
I'm on holiday now.
Right.
As of this show today, I am bowing out.
But you just had the bank holiday there.
I didn't drink.
That's not true.
I didn't drink.
I'm pretty sure I was in Glasgow and I seen you drinking wine.
I didn't drink on Sunday or Monday.
Unless it was alcohol free.
I didn't drink on Sunday or Monday.
Cass.
Cass, that's 5
You
days.
don't even know what day it was, holiday. So
I haven't-
there we are. You've obviously got lost somewhere along the
See,
line. But do you know what? See if you tell yourself what you want to tell yourself, you'll be fine.
If we're not going to have this trust, what have we got? Right. Like, you're back running, fair play. Well, I hope you find a club. If anyone's looking for a footballer who can run, here she is. But you're looking well. You've got a tan and all that.
I've got a tan.
Botox
That's
is
good,
set.
yeah. Botox is in. Teeth. I've got 2 more sets of aligners.
So excited.
And then, do you know what I mean? If I bring it into a team, at least it's good looks, I would say.
Right.
Bit of banter, bit of looks. Fans love it.
Yeah. So she is still looking for a team.
Doesn't matter where you finish in the league, does it?
Well,
Nobody's going to remember where you finished in the league when you get a face like this.
It does help when you're good looking. We're just joking. We're just
me
kidding
joke.
on. We're just kidding everyone.
Just kidding.
Well, a great summer of sports, I have to say. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It feels like the Euros. We're going to talk to Tash Dowie about it very, very soon. But was like everywhere, all in your face again for a minute. And now I'm like, okay, now we need the season to start back to keep the momentum going.
I enjoyed the break. I enjoyed then tuning in, watching the Euros. It was highly enjoyable, except from England winning it again. But I'm over that again.
She's just kidding everyone.
Yeah, just another wee joke there. Another wee joke. But now, yeah, like you've seen a few of the transfers. Actually, though, I did say to you recently, I thought it would have been a bit busier.
Yeah.
But I'd like to sit down and go through teams, look at everyone they've brought in, and then teams that you're actually like, they've got to still boost in their squad, because again, you're looking at Chelsea and Chelsea are marching on. So can't wait for the season to start. Exciting fixtures and a big year ahead.
Big year ahead. I mean, the fact that, you know, Chelsea have won another treble and, you know, Arsenal are Champions League winners and England retain the European Championships. There's so much of a focus in football here in this country.
Yeah.
It continues to kind of lead the way, I would say, around the world. So what can be pulled out in terms of transfers between now and the window closing?
Yeah.
I mean, there's reports of Grace Clinton to Man City. We were talking about this last night. We both heard reports. We don't know if it was here or if it was in the office or it was in teams or whatever like that about Grace Clinton to Arsenal, but there's been no rumours in that kind of
it's been
online.
Quiet right now. So all these wee fan accounts make stuff and you don't know what's right and what's wrong these days. Do you know what I mean? Next they'll be saying, I'm going to Madrid. Well, I'll be like, am I?
Joining us now to reflect on a huge summer for women's football is former England and Liverpool striker Tash Dowie. Hello, Tash. It's good to see you. How are you keeping?
Guys, you have been making me giggle for the last 10, 15 minutes, I tell you. And Ruesha, as soon as you said Achilles, I feel your pain, girl. It's probably the worst injury to have. I mean, I've been retired for 2 years now and I haven't felt my Achilles once. And it's just been a pleasure to run, done marathons. I literally put the boots on when I was over in Switzerland to play in a media game. for 60 minutes, felt the Achilles again, and now it's like I'm a 90-year-old cripple walking in the morning. It is the worst.
No way, I didn't realise you suffered with Achilles.
Yeah, pretty much 7 years, like managing it. But it's one of those injuries, isn't it, that it's impossible to manage. Some seasons it's good, some seasons it's bad, but it's horrific.
That's it. You might get a nice wee spell, and then out of nowhere it's just creeping up on you and you can feel it. But trying to explain to people.
Yeah, try and tell me, because I feel so left out right now.
It's literally like someone is stabbing you in the back of the Achilles with a knife every single step. And pretty much for 5 years, every morning, wasn't it, Ruesha? ISO holds. I'm at the gym now doing my ISO holds just to get them warm so you can actually run kind of pain-free. But yeah, it's not nice. And like you said, you kind of get 2 years I haven't felt it. So I thought, oh, it's gone. You know, I haven't done anything. And I just thought, well, I'm Achilles free again. And then, you put the boots on for a bit and here they are again, reminding me that they're still there.
Yeah. I can't believe you've just done a marathon and as soon as you put your boots on, it's came back. That's not fair. That's not cool.
I know, and I've got a Legends game for Liverpool against Chelsea in October at Stamford Bridge, and I need to be ready for that. So, yeah, I need to be getting on the shockwave again or whatever it is to get them better.
Oh, well, I'm not gel, but I kind of don't feel involved anymore because Tash, I used to just sit and make fun of Achilles tendonitis, tell her to toughen up and go on with it. But
it's not nice. You need to be kinder to her. Honestly, it is the worst. So give us some sympathy, please.
She doesn't have, like, mug it out, though. Like, she longs out Achilles tendonitis.
Tash has just said she had 5 years of it, and I'm literally touching on that now.
She'll come upstairs with a glass of wine and tell me her Achilles are sore. How might I take that seriously?
It's what it makes me do, is to try and get through it.
By the way, random story I went into that. I don't know if you know this, Tash, but do you know that your dad and my father-in-law are like best friends?
Do you know what? It is so funny. I rang my dad literally 10 minutes before the show to say, what is the connection here? Yeah. And he literally said, they're best buddies. Yeah. And Ruesha as well, I'm sorry as well, but didn't you used to live or underneath or above my sister? Yes, so I really apologise for that.
Yeah, do you know what?
That must have not been a pleasant thing.
No, she was absolutely fine. She was sound, no trouble. But I've not seen her on socials recently because I used to keep up to date with what she was up to, but I've not seen her.
Oh God, no. Well, I don't follow her on socials, so can't fill you in there.
You don't follow your own sisters on socials? That's banter. To be fair, Pat yesterday, I think they play golf together is what happens, but. Pat came home, I took the kids down to my mother-in-law's and my father-in-law's. No one else cares about this story, but I'll tell it anyway. And he had this big picture of George Best hanging in the sitting room. And he was like, just look at this. And it came from Tash's dad.
My dad, yeah. So is that where? Oh, it's so funny because my dad's moving at the moment and he is literally trying to get rid of everything in the house. He keeps ringing me up. Do you want this coffee table? Do you want this? And I said, Dad, no. So, yeah, that's who's been palming off all his pictures.
Well, she has a picture of George Best in her sitting room and she's like, maybe you could just take that to the office or something. And it's massive. And she's like, why have I got this picture of George Best? He loves it. So thanks to your old man for that. Well, that's all we've got time for, Tash, on today's show.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Listen, talk to us firstly about the Euros because I listened to all your commentary for talkSPORT. Top work. I mean, how are you reflecting on it now that the dust has settled and they're champions again?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surreal month, to be honest. My first one as a commentator abroad and one I felt very privileged to be a part of. And the team were amazing. We had so much fun. Kind of didn't really feel like I was working, to be honest, just kind of dipping in the river every day in Zurich. But, to follow England, and if I'm being completely honest, after the first game against France, I thought I was going to be getting a flight home after the group stage. And pretty much every game we kept saying the same thing, right? Getting our bags ready to pack. And they just found a way into the final. And I think all of us, if we're being honest, when they got to the final, never thought they would go and do it. But they did. And it was just so surreal. It really was. And even now, we've still got the group WhatsApp chat going. And just can't really believe that they went on and won it. But I think you've got to give them credit. They didn't play well, if we're being honest, throughout the whole tournament. I think their performances were below par. But they found a different way. A way that probably in the past, when I played for England, that's why we always fell short, that mentality side of things. We were always beat when we played the Germans, the USAs, before we'd even stepped on the pitch. Whereas Serena Wiegmann has just got this mindset now within these players that has got them, they just never know when they're beaten. And this whole finishers thing, when I played, it was starters and bench players, and you didn't feel like a squad. You didn't feel like you had a purpose when you were on the bench. Whereas now, I was a bit sceptical of this finishers kind of tag, but it's true. You know, they all know their place, and pretty much the finishers in the Euros in 2022 and now this Euros has actually won England the tournament. So credit to them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like sitting back watching the games, you're thinking, right, they're not playing great, but they, like you said, they kept finding a way, and obviously that's maybe something they've been working on for a few years now within the group. And it's fascinating, like how they got over the line. I'm sitting watching the game and I'm going, right, well, you're going to make a change now. Surely Chloe Kelly's starting this game. But no, Serena's just stuck to her guns, and you're like, is that actually genius? Or is there a bit of luck there? Like, what has actually happened in them moments? It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you've got to say it's genius because, and again, I think it's something that she's obviously worked with among these players. And I'll be honest, you know, and I'm sure you were the same, Ruesha, I was a really bad bench player. And, you know, throughout my career, I played everywhere I went. And if I was on the bench, you didn't feel a part of it. You know, if a team had won, you didn't feel as if you had contributed. And I think that's where she's changed this England team. And when, like you said, when you've got the likes of Chloe Kelly coming on every game and being that difference maker and still not getting a start. Now, if that was me, I'd be knocking on the door. But that's not the case with these players. They seem to not accept it, because I'm sure she doesn't enjoy it, but they know their role. They respect Serena. They must respect her so much to be able to kind of accept that and then know that they're good enough to come on and do their thing again. And I think that has been the big change from when we were managed in the past by the previous managers. I've always said Serena Wiegmann has been the best signing for England, you know, and she is someone that I wish I'd been able to play under. And she has. I think at club level as well, these players are winning trophies, Champions Leagues, and it's just getting brought now into the international setup. And it's a joy to watch. Whether the football was attractive, it wasn't. But to go back to back, it's incredible. It really is.
What do you think this means going forward for England? Obviously, all eyes are on England. Pressure is absolutely on them now. Will they continue this journey, or do you think we'll see them dip somewhere, or do you think, no, it's just there's players coming through and it's just constant progression for England right now?
I know, I think it's going to be tough. It really is, because I think when you look at some of the key players maybe within the next 2 to 3 years that might retire, even though Lucy Bronze seems to be able to just go on and on and on, and she doesn't seem to shy away from saying she wants to be involved in the next major tournament. I do question, is there enough coming through in the younger age groups? And also on the flip side of that, are they getting enough game time? You know, it's getting so hard now in the WSL to play 90 minutes. Young England players now are having to drop down into Championship Tier 3 even to get game time. It's different for when I was coming through. You know, you were making your first team appearance at 14, 15 years of age because there was no under 23s, etc. So that's the only thing that worries me a little bit, is the youth players playing at a high enough level. But I think when you look at some of the younger players, your Beaver Joneses, your Aherne, you know, some of Grace Clintons, there's enough depth still that I think they'll be within the next 5 to 6 years, they'll still be competing. But it's just that next generation, you know, in the next 10 years, is there enough?
We had said with Michelle Adjumang saving the nation as by her surname during the Euros, that Arsenal wouldn't let her out of their sight. Here she is now going on loan again at Brighton. Do you think that's the right move?
It's crazy, isn't it? It really is. And to be honest, Adjumang surprised me because I think she had an okay season at Brighton, but I think her all-round game still needs working on. Yes, she scores goals, and I think that's the main thing as a striker. But I think when I look at her all-round game, I loved her work rate in the Euros, but I want to see that more now at club level. I don't know if I saw that enough at Brighton in the past season. And I think respect to her, because I've known so many players, young, talented players that want to sit on a bench for a big club and potentially win trophies, but actually not play. So actually, if anything, I respect the fact that she wants to go and play again. She wants to go and get 90 minutes. She probably knows, truthfully, she's not going to get in over a Russo. The only way that's going to happen is if they have a 2 up top. But then they're bringing in Olivia Smith. I mean, I don't even know how Beth Mead's been linked away, because she's probably going to be struggling for minutes. So realistically, I think it's a good move for her. I really do. And whether or not then she can fight her way back into that Arsenal squad, that's something I'm not sure about, to be honest, just because the depth that they've got there.
Yeah. Interesting. I just thought Michelle, just because she's more of I don't see her really out in the wide areas, so I'm going, she's a vocal point, she's that striker, a bit like yourself, happy to be the centre forward. Like you said, she's got a lot to improve on. She's still young, that overall game. I was actually, the work rate was great, but I was like, you could see that Russo has that burst of like just continuing to perform at that high intensity over and over again, and that's something that I'm sure Michelle will get with time. I was unsure, was it a Arsenal going, we need to give you more minutes so you go out, or was she going, well, no, I can stay? I'm unsure. We don't know because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes at the club. I did think she could bring, like Stina Blackstenius, we see as a different striker. She can stretch in behind. She's not a natural finisher. I think Michelle Adjumang might be more of a natural finisher. So I thought, will Arsenal hold on to her? But yeah, like you say, she's going to go out and play more, and then she can obviously work on other parts of her game.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. And I think as well, not even thinking of Blackstenius, I think that's the thing. I think Arsenal, you bring on I don't want to see her as a super sub, but right now her role probably at Arsenal would be, you know, they're 1-0 down or it's 1-1 and there's 5 minutes to go, and you want to throw on a presence, you know, balls into the box, direct, how England were, which isn't normally the way Arsenal want to play. So I think Michelle, like I said, needs to go away this season, needs to show that work rate, needs to work on her all-round game with regards to, you know, hold-up play. She's got pace so she can stretch in behind. And I think then if she can show that at a team like Brighton, that she can actually contribute more than just being that kind of impact sub where you can cause a bit of mayhem, which is what she did for England, then I absolutely think she is good enough. But I think it's going to be a big season for her.
I want to just ask you both, Tash, before we let you go, about Beth Mead, who you mentioned there, linked away to London City Lionesses. Here's what the manager, Jocelyn Pritchard, said on the subject of Beth Mead being rumoured to the club.
Listen, if I'm a promoted team and I work for another club, if I tell you, if someone come and tell me we try to convince Beth Mead to join, I would say, hey, come on, are you serious? But this is why something is very special in London City. First because of Michelle, but it's really a place where everything is possible. And yes, well, because yes, we are the promoted team, but Michelle wants us to be ambitious and give all the support we need to be to be able to be ambitious. So no, I'm not surprised if when they told me they are talking with Beth Mead, okay, let's try and let's see.
So it sounds like Jocelyn Pritchard telling talkSPORT that they are in the market for Beth Mead. They've signed Danielle van de Donk. There's a lot of money there to play with. Tash, what's your thoughts on that? Now, you're not one for sitting in the fence. Give me your all honesty.
No. Yeah, I'm excited for London City Lioness this season. I think I want this to happen more within the game. I want a team to come up and not just go back down again. And this team is going to be competing, you know, not just a mid-table team. I mean, you look at the likes of Katie Zellem being announced, Lana Kennedy, Aslani, who's a good friend of mine and probably was one of the standout players in the Euros and one that is one to watch, in my opinion. We've seen what she can do at City. But Beth Mead, absolutely. Yeah, I think she's at that point in her career now where she's won a lot at Arsenal. She's done a lot. Similar to, I guess, Miedema, you know, is a fresh change for her maybe needed, you know, and she wants to be a player that's a 90-minute player. She wants to be a key player in a team, not a player that's going to get rotated. So for me, if I was in her position, I would go and do it. I think they've got a squad that can absolutely challenge, so why not?
Rush, you know Jocelyn Pritchard very well. You know the bones and the structure of this team. Do you think he can lead them up the table? And do you like the fact that Michelle Kang is able to spend the big bucks and buy?
I'm intrigued to see how the season's going to go. I get they've brought a lot of players in and some very good players. Like you said, I think Aslani was standout, but I think actually in the Championship last season, we probably didn't see the best of her because I think she thrives at a higher level. Like you see in the Euros, she thrives off that competitive edge and going, okay, I'm good enough, look at me, watch what I can do. So I think she's going to really shine this season in the WSL, and with better players around her, is going to make her life a lot easier. But I'm intrigued to see how London City will go at it, because you've seen teams coming up. I know they're investing and they've now got better players, but how are they going to make them gel? These players have just come in the last couple of weeks and the last couple of days. Are they ready to start the season? Are they going to go all out? Are they going to play their own game? Are they going to press teams? Are they going to just be like, we're playing out from the back? What are they going to do? Because at the same time, you've got to respect the WSL and the standard. We've seen teams come in and really struggle to stay there. So I'm really intrigued to see how it goes. I like having experienced players in too. And you're looking at the squad and I'm going, all experienced players are 30 or over. So are they building? Will they stay there? I'm so intrigued. But Jocelyn loves to play football. So the only thing I can say is he's gone out to play football and play his own style. Will that work? Will that risk pay off? I'm not sure. But like I said, can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what as well? I just quickly, but I think it reminds me of actually in 2013 when I signed for Liverpool. First of all, we were that unknown, a team that, brought in players from Switzerland, from Iceland, from Germany, America, and no one really knew. And we just gelled and we won the league back to back. And I think this team is an unknown. Yes, the players are known, but how they're going to gel, I think, is going to be really tricky for teams to be able to come up against them. So I honestly see them having a really strong season.
Well, Tash, come back, speak to us anytime that you can. Good to speak to you today and get your thoughts on what's to come. We'll see you again soon.
Cheers, Tash.
Definitely. And Ruesha, get on those ISOs, girl.
You too, you too.
See you later.
Cheers.
Oh,
Bye.
Achilles friends. Speaking of exciting, joining us now is former Lionesses under-17s coach who's just joined Casey Stoney at the Canada national team as assistant coach. Natalie Henderson is with us now. Hello, Natalie. Good to see you. How are you getting on?
I'm good, thank you. My Achilles are sat here wincing at this conversation, so I've been able to laugh about it. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
I was just going to say,
are you joining the Achilles club?
Do you know what? I had a problem with them last year, and it was the first time.
Oh my goodness.
Problem. And I totally can see where you're coming from because it was a nightmare just through running. But yeah, they were a nightmare to manage as well. So when you were talking about it, I was thinking, yeah, I can relate to this now. And I think it comes with age as well, right? So that's not a good sign either.
Well, I've had mine for the last, literally, I'm going to say since COVID. So I don't know if it's like as soon as you're starting to touch 30, does it just become rife? But look, we'll get through this. We've got a community now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Age 30. Once you hit 30, the Achilles are going, guys. So yeah.
Somebody needs to chuck a knife into the back of my leg so I can understand what it's all about. Be part of the club.
Well, you don't run, so you wouldn't know.
Excuse me, Natalie. I'm training again because I've got a 10K coming up, so I am running again.
Okay, well, let's hope your Achilles hold up. Don't join the club, honestly.
I know exactly what group chats turn to if they do. Thank you for being with us today. How's life going? Part of the Canada team now. How's that?
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a traitor because I've still got my England shirts up behind me here, so this doesn't look great.
Don't forget where you came from.
Yeah, it's true. And I was happy. I was listening to you talk about England winning the Euros there, and I am still an England fan, and Canada weren't in that tournament, so that was okay. I was very happy that they won it. But no, life is going good. It's a good change. I think I'm the sort of individual that's always ready for the next challenge and wants to keep pushing myself. So this opportunity with Canada came along at a good time for me. I wanted to be challenged. I'd always looked up to Casey Stoney and want to learn from Casey and work with Casey. And I think the squad is really exciting and has good potential. So I was excited to be a part of it. So yeah, it's not going too bad. Thank you.
We've seen obviously in Canada there recently, they've started their own professional league. How's that going? And are you looking at players within that league? Obviously there might be some young players. Are you going, it's still in the developmental stage? How do you see that right now?
Yeah, I think that the league's fairly new. It's still in its developmental stage. I think for us, our players are just dotted all over the world. We have a lot of players in the NWSL, players in the WSL, players in the new Canadian League. So we're trying our best to just get our eyes around everybody, but also really build a relationship with that NSL and that league. And we have some young players in there that we're watching and monitoring their progress. Casey is speaking with the league regularly about how best to get it in the best place possible. So yeah, I think it is exciting. It's new. There's lots of work to do with it. But it started off in a good place, and it certainly gives our players a bit of a pathway there as well.
Obviously coming from the England sort of pathway and seeing how they do stuff like in the FA, how are you finding that transition over in Canada? Is it similar, or are you like, it's a big change? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think it's similar in terms of your job doesn't change much as a coach. You want to help players get to the highest level possible, and that level can look different for different players, but ultimately that's our job. That's what we want to do. I think naturally being with England for the past 3.5 years and then moving to Canada, I think I've got a good understanding of international football and how we can work when we're not on camp and how we can put some processes in place to track players and to communicate with them. And yeah, I think that international experience has obviously helped me with the Canada pathway. I think the resources are slightly different with England and with Canada, but that excites me in terms of what can we do with what we've got. So I think, yeah, it's a nice challenge. It's nice to go into a different environment, learn a different culture, see different parts of the world. I never classed myself as much of a traveller, and now I am definitely a traveller. So yeah, I'm learning all about the culture, learning about the country, learning about a different way of doing things. Obviously going from head coach to assistant coach I'm learning a lot there as well. So yeah, it's all very exciting, very new, but in a really good place.
Your career's fascinating. I mean, just looking back at your CV, Natalie, I mean, you were one of the first women to be appointed in the Premier League as a male academy coach. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah, do you know what? I don't really think about this that much, but people talk about it. But I think, yeah, somebody has to be the first at some point, and I guess I was the first female coach in a men's academy. I think there should be a lot more. And I also just think you should just be good at your job, whether you're a male or female. I think people should get in the buildings and get these roles because they're good at what they do. So it's nice when people talk about that. It's nice when people say that. I learned an awful lot from my time in the men's academy. I think it was almost the making of me. I think my experience before that was at many different levels. I always played at an okay level. I was very injury prone, not just Achilles. But I started coaching from a really young age, from the age of 14. I coached in communities, county football, college football, grassroots, Newcastle United Foundation. So then moving into the men's academy and into that professional side of the game, I think really accelerated my learning as a coach. And yeah, I loved my time there. I learned a lot of things there that I take into my coaching every day now. But yeah, it was nice to be the first, but I hope that we have many more. And I hope it becomes the norm for females.
I always say, and like obviously we've seen the women's game right now, and obviously it's become professional. There's girls' academies, pathways and stuff like that, and that's great. But I always say right now, I feel like maybe the older generation of players, we maybe learned a bit more because we were constantly having to play with the boys. So you went into like a boys' academy, and I always feel like boys and like them when they got older and guys, they know stuff instantly. They know stuff like specific details within their position. And I feel like in the women's game, it's almost neglected because I feel like everything's just like team focused. You're in, obviously, it's limited time on the pitch. So I feel like coaches and managers just want team focus. Obviously, that's going to be the case at international level because there's so little time with your team and with the players. How do you feel that in the women's game we can start to bring that in where like players like a centre midfielder is just actually coached about being in that role and like the ins and outs of being really good in their position? Because I feel like that's something, honestly, I might be wrong, but I just feel like in the women's game it's so neglected.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think it was, and I definitely think it is improving. I think that's where being in the men's academy, there was a big focus on individual development and essentially we were trying to produce one player or two players to get to the senior, not all teams. So a lot of the work you do is around individual development. How do we help players maximize their potential and treat them individually? I think that's definitely coming into the women's game now. I think even senior teams now are getting individual development coaches so that they can work with players on position specific work after training sessions. I see more analysis being done now with players on how they can maximize their performance in the positions that they're in. So I certainly think it's coming into the women's game now, but I totally agree with you. I definitely think the women's game was behind in that aspect, and everything was just team and how do we get our team to win, as opposed to how do we get this individual better. So I definitely think it's heading in the right direction. I think it's heading in that way in the youth pathway as well, of there's a bigger focus on individuals. And I think that is the way it's got to go, because I'm a big believer of if you can make the individuals better within your team, well, then the team becomes better, rather than just focusing on the team and losing the individuals within it. So yeah, I think it's heading in the right direction.
Well said. And just on the subject of individuals, then Natalie, were there any of the players at the Euros who you coached when you were part of England's setup over here?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a few that I've crossed paths with. I guess the one you've just been talking about more recently, Michelle Adjumang, is in my under 16 squad and under 17 squad. within the England pathway. I was very fortunate to play a very small part in her journey. I know she's had a lot of coaches and she's got a great family support system. And I think just from all of us, we were very proud of how she was in that tournament and the pathway she's on. I was listening to your conversation before about her going back to Brighton. I think it's absolutely the right thing for her to do. I think these young players need to play minutes and not sit on benches. And I think she had a fantastic tournament. She still has a lot of work to do and she knows that. But yeah, I was very proud of how she handled that tournament and the pressure of that tournament, and really, really happy for where she's at right now.
Very good to hear. Listen, we hope to hear more from you soon as well going forward. Next time Canada are playing, we're going to be looking out for Canada. By the way, Canada broke Ruesha's heart when Ireland were at the World Cup.
They did. Yeah,
you're kind of not on our good list at the minute, Natalie.
But what you can do, I can see you've got some Nike boots behind you. If you want, I can just send you my address and you can send me some boots over and we'll be fine.
Yeah, we could sort that out. I'd rather stay on your good side. So we'll get
Send her your England shirt as well for a laugh. Get that aside by yourself, Casey Stoney. Send that to her as well, Natalie.
Not a Canada one. It could be an England one.
Speak to you soon. All the best. Natalie
Cheers.
Henderson there, Canada assistant head coach. Thank you very much. That was a good little chat.
It's been a good show. Good show.
Has been a very good show.
We're going to continue with it.
Let's keep charging forward because we're going to bring on now a player who's going to be taking part in WSL2, the rebrand this season. From Crystal Palace, please welcome to the studio, Molly-Mae Sharpe. Molly, hello, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
for joining us.
Yes, this is lovely.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I love
really
your
nice.
accent. Proper Bradford.
Yeah, you're going to have to put subtitles and just for us all.
Oh, we'll find a way. We usually need them with us anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
How are you? How's pre-season going at Crystal Palace?
Yeah, good. I'm just constantly tired now for, the 6 weeks, just pre-season rolling through, but it's gone really, really well so far. I've got a great group of girls in. Just really looking forward to the start of the season now. Can't wait.
How do you find being in this position right now? Obviously, you've been in WSL 1. I need to get used to the lingo.
Yeah, I know.
WSL 1.
I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to still say WSL and champ.
Okay, fair enough.
Heading on, won't. I'll change.
Obviously, it was a tough test, but how do you feel like that experience as a team? Because I feel like you've kept probably a good core group of your squad, and then going back in, you're probably favourites now to be promoted again. How do you find that right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because as a footballer, you want to play at the highest level possible, and when you're doing that, it's amazing and everything's, brilliant. But then you're losing, and it's tough. I mean, the league playing against the best players in the world, like Ballon d'Or nominees, it is, it's tough. But I think, like you said, we've kept the core group, some really good players in there, so we are just looking to try and go straight back up. I think that is, what the club wants. I think anything less would be upsetting, as we've already been there and we know what it's like to try and stay there. But I think, getting all the experiences, getting to play against the girls that won the Euros, that's crazy. And I think if you actually think about it, probably like a few hundred girls in the world have ever done that, played in that league. And I think when you think of it like that, you have to just think, how lucky am I to have done that?
And give credit to yourself as well. That's hard. That's hard. It's not meant to be easy. Otherwise, more people would be doing it, right?
Exactly. And I think obviously getting relegated was like one of the hardest things in my career. But I think we've just got to put it right and try and go straight back up and just do it better next time.
Absolutely. I feel like as an athlete though, it's like your natural instinct not to be kind to yourself. So it's good to maybe take that step back and reflect and go, okay, I've been a part of that and I've done that, and now it's time to reset, get better to try and get another taste of it. So how do you think Palace will feel right now in terms of, we've obviously seen the league, so it's like, 1, 2, and then potentially a third place playoff to go up. Do you think Palace is pretty much like, I know it doesn't matter how it happens, but it's like, no, we're finishing top.
It's like a shoe-in. Do they see it as a shoe-in?
So like you want to win the league? I mean, yeah, I think so, because we won it, and we won it at Selhurst, and we had the trophy celebrate, and it was just like an amazing experience. But I do think in the grand scheme of things, with 3 potentially like going up, obviously with the playoff, I think we just have to get promoted. I think that is, we want to win the league, and obviously we'd love to win every game, and that'd be amazing going unbeaten. But I think just grinding it out every week, you're going to get tough games. You know, you might have a week where you score more goals than you think you're going to score, which is obviously unbelievable. But yeah, I think just promotion is you know, the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just touching on that in terms of, you played last season at WSL1, you've talked on the quality of players. What is the difference? Because I harp on about this all the time, what I think it is. What do you think the difference is?
I personally think this is a bit rogue, but I think the Championship is more physical.
Do you?
Yeah, I really think there's just so much more like grappling. And I also think in the Championship, anyone can beat anyone. It's like every game's like, oh my God, who's going to win this game? Who's going to win this game? And that is so tough to mentally, like, you don't have an easy game. You don't have an easy week where you think, oh, we've only got blah, blah, blah next week, you know, that'll be fine. That's 3 points in the bag. You can't think like that in WSL2. Keep saying Championship. In the WSL2. So it is one of them where every week, you know, midweek games, every week you've got to psych yourself up. You've got to be like, we have to be on our best 100%, giving everything this week to beat this team, or else, you know, especially going, you know, up north to Durham, Sunderland, it's long journeys. You have to perform at your best every single week.
I mean,
to get 3
the
points.
Championship is renowned for being an absolute nightmare, and when you're in the Championship, it's so tough to get out of. And the fact that I'm just curious about this, because you're in this situation right now, when the parent, when the man is doing well, which Palace have been incredible, you know, of the last season to win trophies in that space of time. I love Glasner. I think it's excellent. I think the squad of players are outstanding as well. And to be some of them leaving, the money's coming in. Are you guys getting a chunk of that money? Do the women get propped up well by Palace men?
Yeah, I mean, we are very well supported. We train at the academy every day. You know, it's like the best facilities, I think,
Is it really?
in the WSL2, and better than a lot of the ones in the WSL. Personally, I think that. So, you know, they sort us out. We get to go and watch, you know, any game we want with the men and stuff. And they're always supporting us if we see any of the lads. Always like, oh, how's it going? So we are like one club,
Good.
Which I think's really nice, and you do feel a part of it. Like when they won the FA Cup, like we were there, you know, like watching it and the celebrations and stuff. So I think obviously Steve Parish really like wants to push the women's club, and he's kind of the one that said, like, you're going back up. Yeah. Like, and we want you to perform at the highest level you can do, and want you to be as high up, you know, because the men are performing. So like we want the women to do well as well.
I love that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I think that's where Arsenal are the best. No one gets close to how Arsenal do it. You know, they are one club, and I think it sets a precedent. I think it's good for the fan base as well. And because we've heard, I mean, Palace the last few years, to be fair to them, have been really investing in the women's team. I know Steve Parish is a massive part of that. But now with the influx of cash coming in with winning trophies, I think, you know, they take their women with them.
I think, though, it goes back to kind of back in the day, in the past, it was like football was almost alienated from men's because it wasn't as good, or it wasn't, nobody watches it, all that stuff.
Because we were in the kitchen.
That's it.
Right.
But now it's like, you can see, like at Arsenal, like the women's and the guys' team, they just see each other as people. Yeah. They don't think, oh my God, you're centre mid for Arsenal men. Like, it's not like that. You're just, so why can't they work together? And I see it some clubs have still got like their teams out training in
segregation,
training facilities like leisure centres or whatever the hell it is. And I'm just like, you're telling me there's no space to have your women's team, and there is space, make space, but that just shows like Arsenal now at the top, because they want that one club, they want that feel, and they want equality. So teams, it's good to see Crystal Palace doing that now, and obviously they want to get promoted and just get back to that, and that being the norm, and staying in WSL1 is going to be the plan now. So it's exciting for Palace, and obviously there's been a change of staff, new staff coming in. How are you finding that?
Yeah, I mean, Jo Potter's come in as the, you know, manager, and she's been brilliant so far. I think her coaching style, the way that she addresses the players, speaks to us honestly about, you know, things we do well, things we can improve on. I think it's really refreshing to have that, because, you know, you can go and you can just have a chat to her about like life, and you can chat to her about football. And then our assistant coach, obviously we've got Remy Allen coming in, experienced player, really good coach, and then Annabelle Johnson, who played at Palace for years and years. So I think each one brings a different thing, but them working all together has just been brilliant for us so far in pre-season. I think they bounce off of each other, and I've learned loads in the past few weeks that I've been with them. So I'm really excited to carry on the journey with them.
I think what's cool also is they're all recently retired.
Yeah.
So they do probably get things from a player's point of view.
They're closer
and
to
I feel
it.
like they're closer to it, and then you know that they've played at a very good level, so you know that they do know what they're talking about. So that's probably really encouraging as a player for all the girls in the Palace dressing room right now too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always relate it back to what you said earlier about nobody speaks to you the way that you speak to yourself. So I'll miss a shot and I'll be like, F off, whatever. And they'll be like, Mol's just next one. Do you know what I mean? Because they've been in that position and probably said that to themselves when they know exactly how I feel in that moment. I haven't meant to do it. I haven't given the ball away on purpose. I haven't messed up that pass, but it's how you react to it. It's how you then do your next thing and bring yourself back from that. Yeah. And I think they really are good at snapping you back into it. You're in a game, you can't dwell on it. You've got to go again.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Jo Potter as well. When they set their sights on her, I'd heard, I don't know if it's true or not, that she was linked to a number of clubs. A lot of people wanted her because of the job that she'd done in Scotland as well. I mean, in her first season, she won the double.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite incredible. So the ambition of her is to win and no less, I would imagine. Is that the mentality she's trying to instill in the players?
Yeah, she's definitely a winner. And I think she puts that into us, even in the pre-season games. It's all about, how we play, and we want to get better doing this and this and this, but at the end of the day, you want to come out with a win. And I think that is so good, especially in the Championship, because sometimes you've got to grind it out and you've got to score. You've got to score in the 93rd minute, or you've got to score in the first 5 minutes, and you've got to defend for your lives for the extra 85. So it's really just about improving every single day as a player, as a person as well. But you play football because you want to win. And every five-a-side game, every shooting practice, I want to win. If I'm on a certain team, I'm right, come on, we're not losing today. And it's a really good mentality to have, I think.
Brilliant to watch over the last few years, especially everything they put in. So I'm hoping they'll be going straight back up again.
Thank you.
Good luck. See you soon. Rue, hopefully again soon, unless you leave the country.
When's the next show? I'm here. I'm skint now. I'm stuck in England right now.
Stop saying you're skint. You're creeping me out. Ew.
You're going to get a lot of hate for that. A lot of hate. You're going to get a lot of hate.
Say it. I'm you're sitting there with your Versace's on. Don't at me about being skint.
I'm going to sell them.
Your miles off it.
Sell them to pay rent this month.
I'm skint. Here's my new pair of trainers. Okay, thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back. Please get in the comments, like and subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
Not just her, but the whole squad are underperforming.
I've been there, I've been that statistic. I think it's something like 1 million girls in the UK drop out of sport every year.